Welcome to our tutorial on Pro Tools main windows. I'll be covering these workspaces pretty quickly, but we're going to learn about them in more detail in later chapters. The three main windows that you'll be seeing the most in Pro Tools are the Edit window, the Mix window, and the Transport window. What you see now in front of us is the Edit window. The Mix window can be accessed by selecting Mix from the Windows menu, and the Transport window. The Transport window will also look familiar to you. It's got basically the same controls as a tape recorder, and it always floats on top of the other two windows. It can also show and hide some counter and MIDI control displays. Select View, Transport, and use this submenu to adjust your Transport window's display as required for your project. The Mix window here shows your tracks with familiar fader controls for volume, pan, solo, mute, and signal routing. Here's where you apply inserts, and here's where you set up your sends. Let's go take a look at the Edit window. You can toggle between these important windows with a Control equal on your PC or a Command equal in Macintosh. Most of the windows available to you in Pro Tools can be shown via the window menu here. We'll be covering these in more detail later on in this course. The Edit window shows your tracks along a horizontal timescale. From left to right, the top of the window is covered with different kinds of controls. There's also a lot of controls on this black strip. We'll be covering these in more detail in subsequent videos. Roughly, though, here are the edit modes, the zoom tools and presets, edit tools, the position indicators, and transport controls on the end. Another important window is the Workspace browser. You use this for managing files and auditioning audio files. It lets you see your drives, their capacity, and how much space you've got available. It lets you browse through all your files without you leaving Pro Tools. You can rename, duplicate, and delete folders and files. You can also add comments that you're able to see when you've got other sessions open. Let's close the Workspace browser and go look at another important browser. We access it through Window, Project. The Project browser helps you organize large projects and collaborate with others. In the Project browser, you can keep track of which files are used in your open session. It shows you where your files are stored and many different parameters about the files. Duration, kind. Your comments are displayed here as well. One important parameter visible from this window is the unique ID that Pro Tools assigns each file. This is really helpful in case you open a session and find that some of your files are missing. The Project browser gives you the tools to figure this out. The unique file ID makes it easy to make sure you're bringing in the right file, because while sometimes your names can be imprecise or similar, the number will always be unique. You can drag files from the Workspace or Project browsers right into your Edit window if you'd like to add them into your project. HD versions of Pro Tools will have what's called a catalog browser as well. Catalogs are references to files that are situated on many different disk and folder locations. Next, let's talk briefly about rulers. You can use the Ruler View selector to show and hide rulers as necessary. Rulers provide a time base for your session, in addition to some other important parameters. They're located at the top of your Edit window. If the bars and beats ruler is selected for your active time base, you'll be able to see your session broken down into musical segments of bars and beats. This will be determined by your choice of meter. The minutes and seconds ruler gives you a standard time base display. Activating the Samples ruler lets you see your waveform according to the number of samples. If you want to navigate to a location in the Edit window, make sure you've enabled the Link Timeline and Edit Selection feature in the Options menu. Now, when I activate the Selector tool at the top of my window by clicking on it, see how it turns blue? And then I click on a location in my time-based ruler, the cursor and the start and end markers follow me there. The counter will also display the current location. If you prefer, you can also get to your location by entering a value manually into the counter. Press Enter or Return when you've entered your value, and the cursor will move accordingly. If you press the asterisk key on your numeric keypad, this takes your cursor automatically to the main counter in the transport window. And this concludes our overview of Pro Tools main windows.